this is why I desensitize the way I do. Right here when she freaks out, if she would have been on a halter and lead rope, she would have hit the end of the lead rope and thrown herself into a so much higher state of panic. But instead, she didn't hit any kind of restraints, and she could come right back into me, and there's no negative association with the saddle pad. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to part 2 of introducing the saddle pad at Liberty with Buffy. If you haven't seen part 1, make sure to go check that out. I will put the link in the description below, and let's get straight into it. So the process I'm using while I'm desensitizing at Liberty is I'm trying to create a win-win situation where I make her idea mine and my idea hers. So anytime she wants to come into me, I'll take her up on that, but I'm not going to force her to stay with me. I want her to realize that by me is the safe spot. Everywhere else she has to work. So here she heard some kind of noise and she freaked out, and so that set us back quite a bit, so it ended up taking more time. That kind of just, she was already nervous around the saddle pad, and that noise just set her off. There she kind of kicked out at me. But basically, I'm using this win-win situation, and anytime she wants to come into me, I'll take her up on that, but I'm not going to force her to stay with me. So if she comes in like that and then turns around and leaves, I'm going to say, okay, that's fine, you can run more. And then I'm going to make her continue to trot or canter laps around the round pen until she wants to come into me, and then I will just continue to repeat this process. And it does take a lot of time. This entire session took me about 40 minutes from the start of this video to the end, but sometimes it may take way longer. There she kind of thought about coming into me, but she still went out. Here she comes into me, so I take her up on that, and then she decides that, you know what, I don't think I really want to stick around, goes ahead and leaves again, so then I'll just send her back out. So it's been 30 minutes. I obviously wasn't going to include all of the footage, but she came into me maybe a total of 2 or 3 times in that 30 minutes, but she didn't stay with me. This is the first time that she's actually showing interest. So she sniffed the saddle pad once, and then I actually just turn and walk away, and she was connected enough with me that she went ahead and followed me. So then from here, I'm going to kind of turn around and I'm going to offer the saddle pad out again. The other thing I'm doing that you really want to pay attention for is pressure and release. The win-win situation and pressure and release are the 2 main tools I'm using in this session. Pressure and release is huge. There I'm holding the saddle pad out into her space, which is applying pressure, and then when she touches it, then I pull it back out. And again, if she goes to leave, there I actually was able to call her back to me without sending her out. But if they leave, it's no big problem, just make them run some more. But pressure and release is huge, 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 huge. Sometimes you'll see me actually turn around and walk away, just like that. That is even a bigger release of pressure. The more releases you give, the bigger the release, the quicker they are going to learn. And if you're still not sure about pressure and release, stay tuned because I have a video coming out on that soon. Now here, she's gotten to the point where she's okay with me putting it up, but then she kind of smelled it and freaked out and realized that, oh my goodness, there's something on my back. But this is why I do desensitizing the way I do, because if she would have been on a halter and lead rope, she would have hit the end of the lead rope and thrown herself into way more of a panic than she did there. She didn't have any kind of restraints, so she ran off a little ways and then kind of looked back at me like, maybe I want to come back in. And then I was able to call her back to me, and we were able to proceed with no kind of negative emotions or feelings attached with the saddle pad, and I'm able to pick back right where I left off, basically. So you can already see the difference in her attitude and where her attention, where her focus is at. She's still a little leery about it, but she's so much better. And again, I could accomplish this faster if I had her on a halter and lead rope, but I think this is so much better and more positive way to do it. Alright guys, so my phone died earlier and I didn't realize it, so you didn't get to see all of the footage. By the end of our session though, she was following me around with the saddle pad. I could throw it up on both sides of her, and she was fine with it all. So I hope that this kind of helps you understand a little bit more of why I'm desensitizing Buffy the way I am. I realize that it takes a lot more time. I think I talked about that a little bit in part 1 of this video. And it does take a lot more time and effort and a lot of patience. But to have a horse who is terrified of the saddle pad, and in 30 minutes, 40 minutes, an hour, whatever, you can have them actually following you around, trying to smell the saddle pad, being able to toss it up on both sides without forcing them to be with you. I think it's worth it. And again, I could put a halter on, I could make her stand there, I could throw it up in her face over and over and over until she finally calms down, at least on the outside, but that really doesn't get me anywhere, because she's not going to trust me, because I forced her to stand in one place. I haven't given her any way to escape, and I've thrown some scary object up in her face. And as prey animals, horses have a fight or flight instinct, and it's not fair to them to be forced to stand in one spot without any kind of escape route. So maybe later on down the road I will do desensitizing stuff with a halter and lead rope, but right now, because I haven't done any kind of desensitizing work before, I don't feel like I have the right to put a halter and lead rope on her and force her when she doesn't trust me enough and she doesn't know 100% that I'm not going to hurt her, I'm not going to throw something scary up in her face. It's just amazing. It makes you feel really happy and really good to see a horse, you know, a 1,000-pound animal, choosing to stay with you after they've been so terrified of an object. Alright guys, so that is it for this video. Hopefully you are finding it interesting. Let me know in the comments below what you think, if this is something that you maybe want me to keep doing, you know, the whole part 1, part 2 training videos. I know they're not exactly tutorials, but I think in some ways they kind of are, and will kind of give you a glimpse into my training techniques and how I teach different things. I can always add more voiceover and stuff to explain what I'm doing through the entire process, if that's something that you guys would be interested as well. So just make sure you let me know. Please subscribe if you want to see more videos. I would love it if you wanted to follow me along in this journey, and we'll see you guys later.